So maybe you've experienced something like this before. Due to some circumstance in your life, maybe past experiences, hopes, dreams, fears, you expect one thing to happen, but then life takes an unexpected turn. When you're expecting one thing, a whole nother thing happens. You live like you're expecting A, and when you least expect it, B shows up. It can turn your whole world upside down. I remember when I was getting ready to go to middle school, and for some of you, you just experienced this. And for others, it feels like a long time ago. For me, it was a long time ago. But I remember I was excited. I'd been with the same friends throughout all of elementary school. We played on the same sports teams together. We grew up in the same neighborhood. It was gonna be great. Me and all my friends were finally going to middle school. And going to middle school can be scary, but I had my friends, so I wasn't worried. All the plans were in place. The back to school supplies had been purchased, but then, when I least expected it, everything changed. We got a letter in the mail saying that the school district had decided to shuffle where kids were going to middle school. Weeks before school was supposed to start, I found out I was going to be attending a totally different middle school than I expected. The worst part was, all my friends, they were staying put. It was devastating. I'd expected one thing, and I was blindsided by something totally different. I wasn't prepared for this. This wasn't fair. No one asked me. Sometimes when we least expect it, things can change, without anyone asking your permission. I'm sure it's happened to you, and it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes we expect the worst, and the best happens. So I'm gonna tell you something, and you've gotta try to keep it to yourself. Can you do that? You see, I'm not perfect. I made some mistakes in my life. And one of those mistakes, I'm embarrassed to say, was when I was in high school. My parents trusted me, and that trust, it came with a lot of freedom. But one time, I took advantage of their trust. I took the freedom they gave me, and I ran with it. But I ran a little too far. You see, I had a curfew, like I'm sure many of you have. And because I had earned their trust, I had a pretty late curfew. I didn't have to be home in the house till 11 p.m. But this one time, I lost track of time. And not just by a little, but a lot. Like a lot. I was so busy, I didn't notice what time it was until it was closer to 2 a.m. And I knew I was in trouble. I remember expecting to get in so much trouble. I expected to be grounded and punished. I expected my parents to throw the book at me. But when I came to them and I told them what I had done wrong, they did what I least expected. They gave me so much grace. I expected A, and I got B. And this time, B was so much better than A. This whole expecting one thing and getting another isn't new to us. It's been happening forever. As long as people have been around, our expectations have been getting blown up. 2,000 years ago, there was this group of people who, because of their past experiences, because of things they had done, because of things they had seen, they were expecting something to happen. You see, back then, people put their hopes, their dreams, their expectations on kings and on rulers, on powerful people. And for a long time, this group of people, the Israelites, they had been through one letdown after another. Whether it was hundreds of years in slavery or wandering in the desert or generations lost in a foreign land, things weren't going well. But they had this great expectation that a king, a powerful ruler, would show up and end all of that. This expectation was so great that they would tell their kids about it. And when things were tough, they'd tell their kids, "Don't worry, a king is coming." And then those kids would tell their kids, "Don't worry, I know things are bad right now, but a king is coming." So this hope, this expectation, it grew until everybody was expecting it. They were waiting. And for them, everything relied on this king. This powerful ruler showing up and changing everything. Then, their king showed up. You see, I don't know what your life has looked like up until this point. I don't know what your 11 years or your 16 years of life have looked like. I don't know what you've been through or where you've been. I don't know what stories you've been told that helped you make it to where you're at right now. I don't know what you're pinning all your hopes and your expectations on. Maybe for you, you're just tired. Maybe you're scared. Maybe you're sick of feeling like you're letting people down. Maybe you're afraid of what your family is going to look like in a few months. Maybe you just can't live up to the pressure. Maybe things have been going great, so great in fact, that you're afraid it can't stay like this forever. So you tell yourself, this Christmas, things need to change. This Christmas, things will be different. If I can just make it to Christmas, things will get better. Things will slow down, then I can breathe. Something's gotta give. And in those moments, we look to a lot of different places to fix what's broken, to fill the hole in us, to get back on track. Maybe it's in a relationship. You put everything you have in another person, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Maybe they'll help you feel better. If I just spend all my time with them, if I just put all my focus on them, then things will get back on track. Maybe it's an achievement. If I just study hard enough, get good enough grades, make the team, get the role, whatever it is, if I just achieve enough, then I will feel better. If my parents get back together, if I join the club, if I just lose weight, if I wear the right clothes, then things will be all right. Let me tell you a little secret. You see, way back then, the nation of Israel, these people who were waiting for their knight in shining armor to roll in, their answer did show up, but in a way they least expected it. It wasn't a knight or a ruler or a king. It wasn't some relationship or some achievement. It was a baby. It was this tiny baby that showed up and it changed everything. It was the answer to every question. It solved every problem. They were looking for and expecting A, but B showed up. And it was so much better than anything they could have ever expected. So this Christmas, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you're expecting. But I can tell you this. When you least expect it, Jesus can show up and will be the answer you've been looking for. I hope you'll come back over the next few weeks as we continue to unpack what Christmas meant when it first began and what it means for you this season when you least expect it.